Because they did so well on that challenge, they get to sit up there and be nervous and get asked some really hard questions. You get to sit here and do what you do very well, because I've seen you do it. I've seen you be an absolutely excellent audience. So that's what you're going to do. Here are a couple of things you're not going to do. You're not going to call out answers. They don't need your help. They're pretty smart. They would be up there. Everyone who participated in this challenge, all the 4th and 5th graders who took this challenge, did very well. It was not easy. It was not easy at all. But what you get to do now is you get to sit there quietly. Because there is nothing more nerve-wracking than being asked a question when you're sitting at that table. And you're sitting there and you're trying to think and you're trying to think. And somebody in the audience is going, I know. That makes you really, really nervous. That just makes it worse. So you need to sit there very quietly. Some of you have little signs. Please don't wave them around while the students are trying to think. That's distracting. Their answers are timed. So if they're distracted by looking at your signs, as nice as it is that you have them, they're going to get distracted. They're going to lose some of their time. And when Mrs. Wright calls time, that's it. Even I don't argue with Mrs. Wright when she said time's up. So that's it. Time's up. So, excuse me. We're also going to ask that you hold your applause. Some of the questions are going to be questions where they've all answered the same question on their whiteboards. They'll put their markers down, they'll hold up their whiteboards, we'll tell them the correct answer. Boys, when we do that, you need to keep the whiteboard up until we tell you to put it down, because the scorekeepers have to make sure they write down who got the answer correct. When we're at that point where everybody has answered, then it's time for applause. So when we start down here and Ben gets the first question, we're all the way over to Aether. After he has answered and he's either correct or incorrect, then we can have a round of applause for that round, but not after each individual person, or you will be here for dinner and we don't have any good food here for you. So we're going to move this along. Okay? Spelling. This is going to be one of the few times where spelling doesn't count. However, I have to be able to tell what you wrote. So if you wrote Ridgewood and it really looks like Detroit, you're not going to get credit for it. It's got to look pretty close, but otherwise spelling doesn't count. So just get down whatever you can that looks reasonable. You certainly, in 4th and 5th grade, you can sound things out well enough to come close. Okay? One of your questions involves a map. Do not look at that map. It's under your whiteboards until we tell you to. Audience, I think you have copies of the map. I think what the audience is going to find is that you're not going to know very many of these questions either. So, good luck. You may not raise your hands or sit there and say, I know either. Okay, we're getting ready to start. The first question is going to be the same question for all of you, so you're going to use your whiteboards. Again, spelling doesn't count, but we have to be able to read it. When I tell you time is up, or Mrs. Wright tells me, and I tell you time is up, you cap your markers, put them down, and I'll tell you hold up your whiteboards. You'll all hold them up. I will tell you what the correct answer is. And then hold those up so that the people keeping score will be able to see. Everybody understand that? On the questions for all of you, I will repeat the question twice. When it's an individual question, if I'm asking John a question, he may ask me to repeat it. There's no penalty for being wrong, so try. If you really don't know it, you may say that you pass. Okay, and you just want to pass that question, you don't know. All right, first question. So this one will be on your whiteboard, so your markers should be out. You will have 15 seconds to give your answer. I'll give you a little bit longer on this one since you're writing it. Give you a little bit longer to listen on this one since you're writing it. So your first question for all of you. Delaware Bay separates the state of Delaware from what other state to the north? Delaware Bay separates the state of Delaware from what other state to the north? Time's up. Tap your pens. Would you hold up your whiteboards, please? The correct answer is New Jersey. Keep it up. Keep your boards up. You want to get credit for it if you got it right. Okay, you may raise your answers, keep your markers capped, because the next question is going to be a different one for each person. And Ben, you get to go first. Good thing you get to get it over with. You'll have 15 seconds, and if you would like, I will repeat the question for you that you need to ask. All right, Ben, a large inland lake called the Salton Sea is located near the Imperial Valley in what state? Time. The state is California. These are not easy. All right, Tyler. Winter skiers flock to the Green Mountains in which state that borders Canada? Incorrect, it's Vermont. Robert? Antietam National Battlefield, the site of a major Civil War conflict, is located near the Potomac River in which mid-Atlantic state? Incorrect, it's Maryland. Max. Lake of the Woods, fed by the Rainy River, lies on the border between Canada and what state? Incorrect, Minnesota. Tyler. The Wright Brothers National Memorial is located near Albemarle Sound in which Atlantic coastal state? Incorrect, North Carolina. John. Lake Clark National Park and Preserve, home to abundant wildlife such as moose and salmon, is located southwest of Anchorage in what state? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Incorrect, Alaska. Michael. The Navajo Bridge, with its surrounding Vermilion Cliffs, attracts tourists to what state? Incorrect, Arizona. Philip. Cumberland Gap, a mountain pass in the Appalachians, lies at the juncture of Kentucky, Tennessee, and what other state? Correct, Virginia. Ether. Jackson Lake, located in Grand Teton National Park, is in what state? Incorrect, Wyoming. All right, next question. It was good to have the first one orally done. Next question, you are going to you're going to write your answer on the report. Set. I'll read the question twice. From its source in Minnesota, the Mississippi River flows south about 2,300 miles before emptying into what large gulf? From its source in Minnesota, the Mississippi River flows south about 2,300 miles before emptying into what large gulf? Time's up. Cap your markers, please. The answer is the Gulf of Mexico. Yes, please. Mexico will be correct because I said what Gulf, so that's fine. Okay, you may erase your boards. So we've had a request from the scorekeepers that you write your answers a little bit bigger so that they can see because they're sitting way back there. All right, now it's going to be time for you to use the map. Don't take it up yet. I'm going to give you some time to look at the map, then I'm going to ask you to put the map face down, and you will be able to look at the map when I ask you the question. All right. So I'm going to give you a moment to look at it. When you take your maps, take a look at it, see what's listed on that map, and give you a little bit of time to look at it. You will be able to use it during the answer. Boys and girls, there is not one map for everyone, so just pass them. Take a look and then pass it around. Take a look and pass it.
We'll pass down a map of the U.S. National Scenic Trails.
Okay, whoever has a map, pass it now, please. In the audience. Girls, pass it forward. Okay, people in the audience, would you please put the maps down so that it's not a distraction? Even if you haven't seen it, please put it down. People at the tables, would you please put your map face down? Ben, you may leave yours up. You are the first question. I will read this for you twice. The Ice Age National Scenic Trail passes through which state that borders Illinois and Iowa? You don't need it twice. Wisconsin is correct. A scenic trail, Tyler. Sorry, you may take yours out. A scenic trail passes through which state that borders Utah and California? A scenic trail passes through which state that borders Utah and California? Incorrect, it's Arizona. Robert, will you take your map out? The Pacific Crest National Scenic Trail has its southern end in which state? California is correct. Max, all set? The Potomac Heritage National Scenic Trail can be found in which state that borders New York? Correct. Tyler? The Continental Divide National Scenic Trail passes through which state that borders Texas? Correct, New Mexico. John. The Natchez Trace National Scenic Trail has its northern end in which state? Tennessee. Michael? The North Country National Scenic Trail passes through which state that borders Pennsylvania and Indiana? The North Country National Scenic Trail passes through which? Ohio is correct. Philip, you may look at your map. The New England National Scenic Trail passes through which state that borders New Hampshire? Massachusetts is correct. Ethan? A scenic trail passes through which Gulf Coast state that borders Georgia and Alabama? Excuse me? A scenic trail passes through which Gulf Coast state that borders Georgia and Alabama? Florida is correct. Good work. You're not going to need the maps again, so you can put them under your whiteboards. And you are going to need whiteboards for this question. Ready? Take a deep breath. The city of Baltimore lies on an arm of what large bay located on the east coast of the United States? The city of Baltimore lies on an arm of what large bay located on the east coast of the United States? Time's up. Please tap your markers. You show your whiteboards. Oh, we asked you to write larger. The answer is the Chesapeake Bay. Keep your whiteboards up, please. Keep them up. Okay, whiteboards down. You like them? Individual questions. Cap your markers. Ben. Lake Champlain, named after an early French explorer, forms part of the border between Vermont and what other state? And remember, you can ask me to repeat the question if you like. Yes, Lake Champlain, named after an early French explorer, forms part of the border between Vermont and what other state? Incorrect, it's New York. Tyler. The Gasparilla Pirate Festival, which includes a mock invasion and parade, is held each year in Tampa. In what state? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Florida is correct. It's nice that we have the air conditioning and the circulation in here, but it's a little bit hard for me sometimes to hear you over the earphone, so if you can talk a little bit more loudly. Great. Robert. The Edwards Plateau, where many tributaries of the Rio Grande rise, is located in what state? Incorrect, Texas. Max. Clouds form as trade winds push air up the slopes of Haleakala Crater in what state? Incorrect, Hawaii. Tyler? Horse racing is an important activity around Lexington. In what state? Kentucky is correct. John? The Big Sioux River forms the border between South Dakota and which state located to the east? Incorrect, Iowa. Michael. The Pearl River forms part of the border between Louisiana and what other state? Mississippi is correct. Philip. The Strait of Juan de Fuca forms part of the border between Vancouver Island and which U.S. state? Correct. Aether. A subspecies of brown bear known as the Kodiak bear takes its common name from an island that lies off the southern coast of what state? Incorrect. Alaska. Okay, take a breath. Whiteboard time. I think you're all holding up very well. Okay, everyone, on your whiteboard. In the spring of 2012, which U.S. city, northeast of the Shenandoah National Park, celebrated the 100th anniversary of its annual Cherry Blossom Festival? Audience, quiet. In the spring of 2012, which U.S. city northeast of the Shenandoah National Park celebrated the 100th anniversary of its annual Cherry Blossom Festival? Time. Captain markers. Show your answers. The answer is Washington, D.C. Because we asked which U.S. city. Markers up, boards up. Boards up. I thought Cherry Blossom Festival might do it for you. Okay, you can put a marker before us. Round 8. Then, what city in Tennessee is home to the National Civil Rights Museum, located at the site where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated? Incorrect, it's Memphis. Tyler. What U.S. capital city was the western terminus for both the Pony Express and the first transcontinental railroad? Incorrect, Sacramento. Robert. Block Island, located east of Long Island Sound, belongs to which small state? Incorrect, Rhode Island. Is that the big state? Next. Located on Hudson Bay, the city of Churchill is found in which Canadian province? Located on Hudson Bay. Manitoba is correct. Tyler.
Russ.
What country, with the world's largest area of arable land, is also the largest producer of corn? Incorrect. We are, the United States, is the world's largest producer of corn. John. The Donakill Depression, located in part of the Great Rift Valley, is one of the lowest points on which continent? Africa is correct. Michael. The Grand Banks, a section of the North American continental shelf southeast of Newfoundland, was a major fishing region in what ocean? Atlantic is correct. Philip. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed in 1848, ended the United States war with what country? Correct. Aether. Which landlocked South American country is bordered by both Chile and Brazil? Correct. Take a breath, take a drink of water. Okay, whiteboards? I'm waiting for the phone. Okay, whiteboards, ready? The Dolomites are a rugged mountain range in the eastern part of the Alps in what country? The Dolomites are a rugged mountain range in the eastern part of the Alps in what country? Time's up. Markers down. Show your answers, please, and the correct answer is Italy. Keep your boards up, please. Keep your boards up. Nobody, okay. Okay, put your boards down. Lake Nipigon is the largest lake in which Canadian province? Correct. No penalties if you're wrong. You might as well take the shot. Tyler. Famous for its Baroque palaces and formal gardens, the city of Dresden was known as the Florence of the Elbe River. Dresden is located in what country? I can. Famous for its Baroque palaces and formal gardens, the city of Dresden was known as the Florence of the Elbe River. And Dresden is located in what country? Incorrect. Germany. Robert. Greenwich Park overlooks the River Thames in which capital city? Greenwich Park overlooks the River Thames in which capital city? The answer is London. Max. The Rio de la Plata borders Argentina and what smaller country? Correct. Tyler. Which European country that borders the North Sea and a strait called Kattegat Strait gets about 20% of its electricity from wind power. Incorrect, Denmark. John? The largest city in Sweden is home to the Nobel Museum and Drottningholm Palace. Name this city. Stockholm. Michael, you're up. The Hall of Prayer for Good Harvests, originally built in 1420, is part of the Ming-era Temple of Heaven. This landmark is located in which Asian city? I'm sorry. Incorrect, Beijing. Philip? The Indus River, one of the longest rivers in South Asia, empties into what sea? Incorrect, the Arabian Sea. Ethan? Piazza Navona, which entertains thousands annually with its fountains, cafes, and street artists, can be found in which European capital city? Incorrect, Rome. Okay, take a breath, take a drink of water. Okay. You okay? Still with us? Okay. All right. Whiteboard question. The town of Bozeman, known for its ranchers, artists, and trout fishing, is located north of Yellowstone National Park in what state? The town of Bozeman, known for its ranchers, artists, and trout fishing, is located north of Yellowstone National Park in what state? Okay, time's up. Marcus Cat. Would you please show your answers? And the correct answer is Montana. No, keep your boards up. Okay, the correct answer is Montana. We're all set. Boards down. We're going to do another whiteboard question. Everybody ready? Name the large chain of volcanic islands that stretch about 1,200 miles westward from the Alaskan Peninsula. Name the large chain of volcanic islands that stretch about 1,200 miles westward from the Alaska Peninsula. Time's up, markers down. Show your boards. The correct answer is the Aleutian Islands. Hold your boards, hold your boards. Even if they're blank, it's okay. Okay, we're going to pause. We're going to check, make sure everybody's got the same numbers. You can put your boards down, take a breath. If you're in the audience, you have been very, very good. Thank you. You may talk to your neighbors quietly. Stay in your seats, please. 9 people up there with their groups. This was very, very close. We threw in a couple of extra questions because it was so close. So at one point we had, I think, a 7-person tie. So that's why we kept going a little bit longer. I'm going to announce third place, second place, and then first place. And I can tell you that this is the closest, in all of my years here of doing this is the closest I've ever seen these scores. This is very, very tight. Third place, congratulations, Ben Brodeur, nice job. There's a tie for second place, Max Castle and Aether Williams. There is, by the way, a 1-point difference between all of these levels. First place, Philip Turman. Just for participating in a fabulous job. I think they did an absolutely wonderful job of doing so well and being so calm under pressure. So I think they all deserve a round of applause. We did third place, second place, first place. In fourth place, everybody else tied for fourth place. You should all feel so proud of yourselves, because if they were honest and if they really answered honestly, and I asked the parents, I'm guessing that you probably beat most of them, so you did a really nice job, so congratulations. Philip, because you did so well, you get another test. So Philip will get another, we'll take another geography challenge that gets sent into National Geographic Society. They score that and then they see how that goes. That's how it ends. But we'll arrange for you to do that, and we'll give you notice when he's going to do that. Boys and girls, again, thank you for being a fabulous audience. If you would do me a favor, we are not going to use those maps again, but they should go and recycle. So if you could, when you get back to your classrooms, please make sure that they do not go in the